Hey guys, Drake here, and I require input into things I want to purchase personally. One thing I enjoy purchasing are books. So usually I, look at my books I'm getting and review the condition they're in prior to buying. At least I would like to most of the time. Nowadays with online purchasing, that's pretty hard to do. It's also hard to do if you're into miniatures like I am, which you can't see behind you, but the walls have shelving covered in miniatures, unopened Transformers. I got Demogorgon, Tiamat, Black Dragon, the old school blue dragon. I've got the old school Legend of Dritz scenario pack with Wolfgar, Dritz, and the white dragon in there. I can't remember his name. Okay, well, I would like to go through some of the boxes that I purchased for the Descent into Avernus, and let y'all know what I think about the detailing on them, as well as what the pull ratio is and if it's worth it or not. I know sometimes with some of these boxes, people are a little antsy. They're like, should I just purchase the ones I want, or should I just buy the box and kind of bite the bullet? Well, we're going to go over them real quick, and then at the end I'll give you my 2 cents on if it's worth it or not. So right off the bat, I've actually got two that I've got on my shelf here just because I really enjoyed the detail on these. The Galabrazoo that came in this series. Look at that, man. Oh, look at that muscular demon. So I actually really enjoy the detail on him. Look at that ass. So actually, I really enjoy the detail on this guy here. You can tell they put a lot of work into him, and I enjoy that. Small things, like if you look at his arms, they actually have the banding, like scar tissue on his arms. Like he's been branded and everything, and I mean, even his legs are like that. And I just think that's really cool. It's hard to see it all on the camera, but they even got the small little details on his neck for the veins. And I thought that was just really, really nice. I've also got this Nightmare here in his rider. Now, one thing I really enjoy about this is they actually have him detachable, and I do have his other piece, but they actually have a separate piece just for this guy with his feet. But I have him on the Nightmare because I just think that's a little bit more badass than him just standing around like a goof. See, and then you can just, even if you just have the Nightmare and it's got a separate piece for the Nightmare, and I've got that. I usually keep my boxes so I can keep the extra pieces in there. I'm lucky to have a large, shed and everything and storage unit up under my house. So I'm pretty lucky with that, so I can usually store large amounts of things. But I will say this, that I've always had an issue with minis is that, the flexibility. And you might get some if you get them shipped in the mail, which is usually how you're going to get these nowadays, and they're going to come to you really messed up, jacked up, maybe even broken sometimes. Now, as opposed to the Nightmare itself, there's no give. There's no give there in that, but there is in his flaming spear. So there is that. So let's go ahead and start in the first one here. I've got multiple boxes in there, so we're going to just go ahead and start. So we're going to start with the small guys here in the wrapping, and then we will go to the large one, and see what we get. So the first one I'm going to show you here, Barnabas the Flame Skull. So I'll probably find one that like a humanoid or something here, so everybody can get like a scale, and I'll hold it up too. This one looks, what we got here. Okay, this is the bearded devil. It's a Legion bearded devil. This is a prime example of what irritates me. So you see that bend in his spear that makes it look more like a penis? That's irritating. Especially if you're like me and you're more of a perfectionist and you want it just looking perfect, But you can look at this guy here. The detail's okay. I actually personally think that they could go a little bit more in with the detail on this guy, but more like the Galabrazoo. So, and I think he's more of a basic human height, so we'll use him for scale. We've got a Legion bearded devil, and he's wielding 2 twin hatchets. See, now this is more like it. They went into a lot of detail on this guy here, especially on his back. That's cool. But again, you see the bend in there? Look at that. Look at that. I can barely put any pressure on it. It begins to... It's almost like it's an action figure, And that's to scale with him, so that's pretty cool. Then we've got, yeah, a Horn Devil. Now this guy here, this is pretty badass. And the wing detail, they even did scarring on his wings. So they did some good detail on him. He's got some blood splatter on his chest and on his legs, pretty much all over him as well. You know, to scale with him, it'd be like that. And you can see he's got this badass weapon here, but again, it's slightly bent. And I understand the wings are in the way, but still, I mean, it's supposed to be like down there, and I know that. This is pretty cool as well. Actually, I like that. There is no bend in that. Looks soft, but it's not. That's a pretty solid base. That's pretty cool. I enjoy that. I know, like, what they were doing, and they still do, is they'll use these. And these have an issue of popping out quite often. That's my little beholder. I'm just pulling him off my shelf real quick to show you something. He's not part of this set. Alright, so that's one box, and pretty soon I'm going to have this whole freaking bar top covered in minis. So let's move on to the next set we got here. I think this is going to be the one that my Glabber Zoo came out of. Yeah, okay, so we got another Legion Bearded Devil. So that makes two. So we've got two already. We got a Babayu. So he's actually pretty cool. I think that's a really cool concept. That skinny skeletal figure with a little demon head on him. He's got a cool looking staff as well. He's got his bloody red hands. I mean, so that's pretty badass. Here we go. This guy here, I love they do take their time here lately as opposed to like back in the day, which like here with this purple worm. You know, there's some good detailing in there, but it's large details. They don't like, they did the details in the mouth and did all the small teeth, but like with the purple worms, they and I've got multiple of these guys, you know, like the rocks, large details, not really small details, but you look at this guy here, and this is Yinau's Hezro, which that is the hyena demon lord. So this is one of his minions, and they did a great job again with the detailing on this guy. You can see he's got that sinewy bone, like he's rotting some, and that's pretty badass. I enjoy that. That's pretty cool. He's got that little nub of a tail. So he's pretty much like a zombie is really what he is. So there goes box two. So actually let me try to keep everybody together because I do put them back in their box. I'm not doing like I did before, just putting them all in a large box. I'm trying to keep them together so they're a little bit more collected and well protected so they're not knocked around and beat up. So here we go. Box number three. Okay, this guy was wrapping. What do we have here? Okay, this is Haruman. So this is an actual character from the series, and this guy looks pretty badass. Here, I'll give you all a close-up real quick and move that bearded devil up for scale, but he's pretty badass, honestly. Try to get this thing to focus. I don't think it's going to focus. This camera doesn't really do that once it gets locked in on me. Like I got the camera. That might help. No, it doesn't do shit. So, again, you can look at the bend in his blade. You know, see if I can fix that some. There we go. But slowly going back. So, that's pretty cool. I do like how it looks. You know, it helps with like that fiery look and everything. And he's about human height as well. So, that's pretty cool though. I love the detail on his armor and as well on his like robes. Oh, here we go. So this is a maw demon. You know, these guys are pretty basic, but you know, the little part of the chittering hordes, and yeah, I think that's kind of cool. Not too much detail you can do with these guys because they're pretty much like a mass of walking flesh and teeth. So. Not much you can do. Kind of reminds me of Glabber Zoo from Final Fantasy. Alright. This guy, Maragon. Huh. So, badass little axe there in his hands. And it's kind of hard to tell, but it's actually like an axe in the shape of like a wyvern face. Like it's the top part of a mouth. I kind of like that look. That kind of hunchback look going on with him. Short. Well, he looks short. He's got kind of the build, but if you actually have him to scale, he's a big sucker. So, I think that's neat. Okay, so here's something a little different. So we got a new kind of devil to show. Well, not so much new, but his armoring and everything. This is a Legion Ice Devil. And you can tell he looks very insectoid. You see his pincers up underneath that helm. So these guys are part of the Legion, the Demon Legion. So that's why I'm sorry, this is the Devil. So this is part of the Devil Legion because the demons don't so much have legions. They're more, they're not going to cover themselves up with armor and stuff like that. These guys will. Actually, he's pretty massive. So that's pretty badass. Sense of scale there with him. I love the detail on the tail. It's very Raptoid-ish, And I love the legs they got going on there. Hard to tell, see it from here, but they did a lot of detail on the muscular work there for him. You can tell they put a lot of time into doing the legs. And that's, again, that kind of wins me over when someone does something like that. So, that's them. I'm going to try to speed this up, guys, so I'm not sitting here forever doing this. I've got quite a few boxes. So here we go. Elanthrius. Okay. So this is a lot like Haruman. And in fact, see, I've got the module, haven't read it, haven't played it. I would love to play it, but I've currently been more reading my books, but as opposed to actually playing the game. But a collector has a collect. There's the new guy right there. Look at that. That's pretty cool, huh? Look at that cape. The detail on the cape. That's great. Of course, he's got a flaming sword, and it's kind of held up pretty well, being that it's really flimsy. I mean, I just kind of poke it, and it kind of bends up under my finger. But that's pretty cool, huh? Like I said. What else we got? Okay, this is Legion Avernus. Okay. See, now this one, I can't tell if it's bent or not. Hold on. No, it's not. So it's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be like it's going at an angle. And you see how they've been doing this? This is so much better than those little sticks of just plastic, because it holds it there. Like, that's not going to go anywhere. Now, the detail on this guy is really all in the wings. Should I say girl? It's really all in the wings. The armor is very basic looking as far as armor goes. Not too much detail, but those wings, they've got all the little marks and stuff like they had a print in the mold. So that's a cool one. We got some small here, really small. What's that? That is, my God, it's an abyssal chicken. I've heard rumors that they existed. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Okay, you're probably not going to be able to tell, but there's not much detail you can't put on something this small. But look at that guy. That's how small he is. Let me get that guy for scale real quick. Where's our little devil at? Where's our bearded devil? Oh, I moved him over here by accident. Yeah, he needs to go over there with his buddies. Look at this. Look how small that guy is. That's a little demonic chicken there. A little chicken action for you. So that's neat. And okay, so we got another of like the hyena. One of the Knoll minions for the Knoll Lord. I can never pronounce this guy's name right, but Yenos. That's pretty cool. Detail on the face is pretty bland. actually. Like it was a rushed job doing him, you know. He doesn't look very sinister in the face, while the body does, especially his back. Just got that razorback action. And I think that's not... This guy is not my favorite, I'm gonna say that. I love the hands, the back, but the face just kind of ruins it, because it's not very intimidating. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. Okay, so this is what I was talking about with the legs. So that's the legs that belong to the rider over there on the Nightmare. This is Narzugan. At least that's his legs, right? Not the whole Narzugan. So that means we're going to be... Yeah, okay, so that's the piece right there for the horse. So that fills in the back if you want to take the rider off. So that means there's only one other thing. Okay, what's this? We got another... Barb? Yeah. So we got another Barb Devil, except this guy, actually, he only got one hatchet, and he's wielding flames, so that's kind of cool. So there's, you know, different types in here. So that's pretty neat. But that gives us three little Barbed Devils. Now, depending on if you want them, sure, you know, you might want to get 3 or 4 of each, because, you know, the more you have, then you can use them for your campaign. Instead of saying, okay, we got 3 of these, you can put 3 on the table. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this one back in the box, because there's not much to this one, because I think that's where they came out of. So I'm just going to put that one back in there so they don't get lost. All right. Ha! Yeah, forgot about this. Alright, so we got another one of these. Just going to go over it real quick. Except this one doesn't have a staff. Babayu? Babayu? Have you say it? One thing about D&D that I do have an issue with is just the names. I love it. I love the names. So, okay, the variation of these guys is kind of cool. So here's another one of them. But this time, he's actually wielding a different kind of axe, and it's out there in front of him. So he's like, it's just bent, so it's kind of hard to see it, but it's actually held out there. So there's variation in these. It's not like each one's going to be the same, but there's a good chance you might get a different type of them. And then we've also got, we've got a Legion Imp, and it looks like he's carrying like a flaming ball on his back, or something, like he's transporting it. Like maybe that's, you know, some kind of Legion weapon, or he's back to load a catapult. So that's pretty cool. And again, because he's a little bit smaller, give you all the scale for him. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And there's good detail on this one, actually. Or as good as it can get. They even went ahead and did some armor plating on his face, which you could tell. That's it's kind of shoddy, of course, because he's so small, you know. But it's kind of cool. I like that they actually took the time and said, well, he needs something on his face, part of the Legion. Okay, Mickey the Flesh Golem. Oh, fleshy indeed. That's cool. That's really cool. So that is a flesh golem right there, guys. So, and of course they always look different. There's never going to be like identical flesh golems, honestly, because they're just an amalgamation of parts from different things. And as you can tell, they're stitching all over his body, where he was stitched together to be made. That's really cool. He's got the canisters all over him. And that kind of like sluggish worm thing coming out of his back, which looks more like it's a some kind of breathing apparatus. That's kind of what it looks like. So, all right, we've only got 4 more boxes to go. I think the worst part about this is me having to pack everything back up. That's the real nightmare. Okay, we got another Maw. So, 2 of them. So far this hasn't been a terrible pull, honestly. Okay, Fallister Fisk. So we got a named character here, which I enjoy the named characters. I enjoy going for them. We've also got... I'm trying to hurry this up too. Okay, Legion Spine Devil. Very small. It's a little bit bigger than Imp. as you can tell. Like I said, guys, I'm trying to speed this up. Armonite. Okay, that's cool as shit. Look at that. That is cool. My thing's not focusing, but he's got a lot of detail on him. On his arms, on his back, on his haunches. That's cool. It's pretty big, too. This one's heavy. Let's see what we got in here. Ah, yes. Now that's what everybody wants. Zariel. That's the big girl herself. Yeah, look at that. Now that's detail. They actually did all the little rivets in the chainmail that's hanging down her shirt. They put a lot of detail on her. Good God. Well, they should, right? She's something special. They even did the emblem on her hammer. See if it focuses. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. She's big enough that it will focus on her for a second. That's cool. That is what you want from a pool. I mean, I could end the video right here. I might have to. You know, it looks like my battery's about to die. But real quick, let's at least finish this one up because I think that pool right there is going to make it. And I'll give you my idea. So that's going to be the farrier right there. It's pretty cool. It's like death, really. It's like a fleshy looking death. We've got, okay, yeah, the Pirabo, those fat guys, fat demon, and a Lumiere. These are like basic little hoarding, you know, part of the Gibbering Horde kind of thing. Gibbering Horde. So I've got like a couple more boxes down there, but I'm not going to go ahead and open them. Honestly, I think this is like a prize pull that a lot of people are going to want. And my overall estimation on this is I would say that it's probably, you know, a pretty good pull.